Hello, I am Rico Cavella. So I'm really happy that you're here because I'm really happy to be here because I'm going to give you one of my most favorite master classes that I love to teach. And the title of this one is How to Stick with a Healthy Eating and Exercise Program. So I'm sure I'm sure you're aware, and you probably can relate to that. I think the majority of people, well, unfortunately, the majority of people have never even started a healthy eating and exercise program. But many people, probably like yourself, have started a healthy eating and exercise program and just haven't been able to stick with it. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and we're going to go through those. And then I'm going to show you. I'm going to really contrast the old way of trying to start a healthy eating program and an exercise program, and then I'm going to show you the new way that will enable you to stick with them and be and have a successful program. And the whole idea, the core idea here is that this forum is about being successful, and of course, not only in your business but in your whole life. And in order to be highly successful in every aspect of your life, you need to have lots of energy, and you need to be healthy for two reasons. First of all, because how successful can you be if you don't have a lot of energy? And the second reason is if you're not healthy and have a long healthy life, what's the point of it if you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor? If you do become financially successful, but then in your later years you're becoming old and sick like most people and dying way too young, it's all for naught. So this is so important. So stay with me. It'll probably be maybe, I don't know, 35, 45 minutes. And I'm going to give you my best information that's going to be really valuable for you. So just a little brief introduction. I've had the good fortune to be a health and fitness personal trainer and a health coach for over 42 years here in San Diego. And in that time, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of individuals of all ages, of all different fitness levels, with many different health challenges to greatly improve their overall health and well-being. And so I know what we need to do. I know what everybody, when it comes down to it, everybody really needs the same. We're all different. We're at different levels. We have different challenges. We have different lifestyles. But basically, it comes down to the real basic things that everybody needs. Everybody needs to, in order to get and stay healthy as possible and live as long as possible, you've got you've got to get you've got to determine a diet of healthy whole foods that's going to work for you, and you've got to develop an exercise program that's going to work for you. And of course, there's other factors. You've got to reduce the stress and get sleep and all those things. But today, in the time that we have, we're going to focus on healthy eating and an exercise program. And so, again, I just want to mention that some of the latest polls show that over 80% of Americans aren't exercising regularly, and there's no really any polls really on how well people are eating because most people I talk to so many people and I ask them, how's your diet, how well are you eating, and the majority of people say, oh, I'm eating pretty well. But then if they become my client, what I like to do is have them keep a 3-day food diary, and and then quite often they're not eating so good as they think they may have been. So most people aren't really eating nearly as healthy as they could and they should and they could and they can. Okay. Okay. So I told you we're gonna talk about the old way versus the new way. So there's three main points that I'm going to go through. The three main things that we're going to talk about today that's going to help you to stick with your wellness program. Number one is is to become clear. It's all about clarity. Number two is having a personalized healthy eating and exercise program. And then the third point is what is the main topic of this, to how to implement it consistently so you can get the success that you're looking for. So number one thing, and this is for everyone, this is for everything about in our life, it's clarity. See, the number one thing that we all need to become aware of, to be clear on is really three things, basically. What is, I mean, what is my life about? What's really, who am I? What's really important to me? What's my core values in my life? And then what kind of goals should I have that I can actually achieve? So we're gonna dive into each one of those things. So here I think the old way would be is not being really clear on any of those things. You know, not really being clear on who you are and what your life's really about, and not being clear on what your core values are, and not being clear on the goals that are truly the goals that are really that you'll be able to achieve, so that you can live that long, healthy, energetic, successful, joyful, long life that you're meant to. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's start with, with number one thing. You know, there's always the question people have is, who am I? And I think actually that's the wrong question. Instead of asking, who am I, we should ask, what am I? I think that's a better way to know really who you are is what you are. And it's my belief, and many of, of the spiritual and success teachers that I've known, we all agree that who what we are all eternal spiritual beings, that we are here on this planet in this physical body just to have these experiences and to learn and to grow and to become higher conscious spiritual beings. And I think that we're all here with a purpose. We're all here with a divine purpose. And that divine purpose is to learn how to live together in peace and collaborate and cooperate, and we can create such an amazing world for everybody. I think everybody can, you can actually visualize that. You can actually see how life could be if we were just living in peace and collaborating and cooperate with everybody and sharing, instead of fighting and being living in fear and all these things that are keeping us apart, and believing in separation instead of oneness. So I think that's the hope. That's really the game of life. That's why we're here. So when you know that and you realize that you're here, first of all, with that divine purpose, but then you're also here with many other purposes here, because we're all unique. We all have unique talents and abilities. And so it's so important to be clear on what your life purpose is. That's the reason I think, again, that I found, working with so many clients through these years, is why people aren't able to stick with a healthy eating exercise program, because they're not really clear on what their purpose is. And see, so if you're not living purposely, then you're not being proactive. You're just being reactive. You're just going through life trying to manage what comes next and what's doing this, and you don't really know what you're doing. But when you become clear on what your purpose is, then you're excited about your life, and you realize that your physical body is your gift. It's your vehicle to do what you're meant to do here, and also to learn and to grow and to enjoy your life and have fun and see what you can do. It's unlimited possibilities when you have that proper perspective. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes sense to you. So if you can get that perspective that you're a divine, eternal spiritual being, and that you're here to do great things. You're not here to struggle or just survive or barely get by. That's not what you're here for. And so that's the number one thing. You gotta get clarity, and then that's the first part: who you are and what you are, and then you have to know. You have to take the time to really know what's truly important in your life and what are your core values. You know, somehow we've got into this rush culture of having to achieve so much. We're so busy. Everybody's so busy, right? Yeah, I don't think I talk to anybody who don't think that they're busy and that life is kind of stressful and they feel rushed and all this. How did we ever get there? I'm not sure. Our our technology is one of the is one of the reasons. As great as our technology is, and we can do all these great things, and I can be here now presenting this master class for you, and we can communicate. That's great. Our technology is great. We can accomplish a lot, but we've always gone to extremes. We're just human beings seem to be extremists, right? So we're in this thing that we because we can accomplish so much, we think we have to. We're always turned on. We got to accomplish this. It's just like why people can't put their cell phone down because they think, oh, I got to get this call. It might be something really important. And most time it is not life or death are important. So, so you got to take some time out, unplug, and take some time to slow down and settle your mind. Maybe get out in nature, learn to do some breathing, learn how to do some meditation, and just think about your life. Is your life really going the way that you want it to? Are you really waking up excited? Are you joyful? Are you in gratitude? Are you grateful for all that you have? And the way to do that is to know take the time to really know what's important in your life. What are your values? How do you want to live your life? How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be thought of? How do you want to show up? And what do you want to accomplish? But these are important things that we're really not taught in school. All the most really important things that we really need to learn, we're not taught in school. It's how to take care of our physical bodies, how to build great relationships, how to be like we're talking about now, how to be clear on what our purpose is and what we're doing in life. We're not taught those things. So we have to take responsibility to learn how to do those things ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. Take the time. Think about, it's like the old saying, how can you get somewhere if you don't really know where you're going? And most people, if you ask them, really, what are your life goals? What are your core values? What are you here? What's your life about? What are you trying to achieve? They can't even answer that. So that doesn't make sense, does it? Everybody's in business, and the main business we have is the business of our life, managing our own business. When you have just a business, if you don't know what your objectives are and what you're trying to achieve and who you're trying to work with or who you're trying to help, you can't be successful, right? So how can you be successful in your life if you're not clear on those avenues? So I hope this is really making sense, and maybe take some notes and just think about this. Take the time to think about that. So that's becoming clear on what's important and what your core values are. And then the next one is how to set goals that you can actually achieve. So here's the main thing. I think most people know that acronym SMART, SMART. You got to set. I don't even remember exactly what it is. They have to be maybe simple, and they have to be manageable or achievable, or I don't know what it is, but I can't even remember what those are. But here's the real thing with the goals. The only way that you're going to be able to achieve your goals is they have to be tied to what's truly important. So that's why you have to know what's really important and what what your core values are before you can set goals that you'll be able to achieve. Because most people have superficial goals. And guess what's the worst? As we all know, what's the worst New Year's resolution and goal is to lose weight. That's the absolute worst goal that anybody should have, because obviously hardly everybody is achieving it long term, as we well know. So, we'll just use that as an example of your goal is to lose weight. Well, first of all, losing weight is not something that's a core value or something that's truly important to you. It's just something that you are challenged with, and you need to do something about it, but you don't really want to even have to deal with it or think about it. See, a goal should be something that excites you and you're really joyful about it, and it's going to bring you joy and help. It's going to serve other people, and it's something that you really want to achieve. And so what I have people do is when they tell me that their goal is to lose weight, I have this thing called the the 7 whys. I just made up the term seven. It could be any number. And so I ask, why do you want to lose weight? Well, maybe the first one they'll say it'll be something kind of superficial. Well, maybe so I could fit in my jeans better, I can wear some better clothes. Well, why do you want to do that? Well, maybe I'll be more attractive. Well, why do you want to be more attractive? Well, maybe I'll make more friends, or I can even maybe do better at my job. Or so you keep drilling. Why is that important? And so you keep asking yourself why until you get down to the core issue. And usually, what it comes down to is the family. In other words, why do you really want to lose weight? Because you can be healthier, and you're probably going to live longer, so you can be around to support your family and to enjoy your family, and also to be a good role model for your family. So that's an example I think that you can see. So whatever you think your goal is, keep asking yourself why, and then you'll get down to what's really what the goal is. So in this example, the goal is I want to live long. I want to be here to support, enjoy, and be a role model for my family. Now that's a goal that really turns you on, and that's a goal that you can achieve. And losing weight, which I don't even like to call it losing weight, I call it, able to permanently reduce your excess body fat. Okay, but anyway, I think you get the idea. And then that's just something that you do. That's just a tactic. Losing weight is just one thing you need to do in order to be healthy and live long, and be around for your family so you can enjoy it. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you. All right. Now let's get into one of the biggest excuses, some of the biggest excuses that people have for not eating healthy and for not exercising on a regular basis. And of course, I know the number one thing is I'm too busy. I don't have time. And we've already addressed that a little bit. Why are you so busy? Again, once you establish what your core values are and what's so important to you, you got to set the right priorities. And your health's got to be one of your number one priorities, just right up there with making great relationships, and also being financially successful. You got to be healthy and energetic. So we all know, we don't have to go in. We don't have to convince anybody that eating healthy and exercising is good for you. It's going to make a big difference. We all know that. There's no question about that. So why aren't you doing it? Okay, so the excuse is that you don't have time. Well, let me tell you this. First of all, we all have the same time. We all have 24 hours a day. And I can assure you that some of the busiest and most successful people take the time to eat healthier and to exercise on a regular basis because they know it's going to help them to be more successful. So even if your main thing is to how successful you can be in business and how much money you can make and how materially successful you can be, but they know that that's their main thing, but they need energy and they need to be successful. They need to be healthy and they want to live long so they can enjoy it. So they take the time. And I know this is true because I've worked with a lot of highly successful and busy CEOs and executives. So I know that's very true. So that's a really invalid excuse. If we have the time. It's just a matter of taking the time again, as we've been going through here, to go through these things we're talking about so you can set your priorities straight and you can manage your time. You can manage your time to get everything involved. Now, I forgot to mention, if you want some more help with becoming clear, I actually have an ebook. It's called Real Clear, Real Fast. And it goes through all these things in more detail that we've talked about. And you can get a copy of that. My ebooks are only like $7. On my main website, agelesslivinglifestyle.com, go to the product section and you can get a copy of that ebook, Real Clear, Real Fast. And I have one on Real Fit, Real Fast, Real Energy, Real Fast. I think you can get the whole volume, about 7 of them, for really inexpensive. So you might want to check those out. Okay, so, and it's the same thing with eating. Why did fast food become so successful? It's because everybody thinks they're in a rush. They're too busy. They don't have time to get healthy food, or to, take the time to shop or go to places where they serve healthier food or learn how to make healthier food. And again, that's just another excuse. In fact, one of my very first book, and the most successful best-selling book that I've written, was called Real Food Real Fast. Just how to make healthy fast food. You can actually make healthy fast food. So you might want to pick up a copy of that as well. It shows you how to get organized and how to buy the right foods, have the right foods in your house, and how to prepare really simple, healthy foods. It's not that difficult, again, but you got to realize that's a priority. Take a little time to learn how to do it, and you can do it, and you'll see how much more energy you have and how much better you feel and how much better you look. Your skin looks better. So many things when you begin to eat. So here's the thing about eating. The whole thing about eating is, to simplify it, is to just, like I said, eat real food. Real food is what's grown in nature by Mother Nature. It's organic fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and some healthy grains and some healthy naturally raised animal products. And so real food doesn't come with a label. You don't have to worry about the label. You have to read a label. It doesn't come with it. It's already made perfectly by Mother Nature. So that's what you want to do. Just begin to change your diet and to eat healthy, whole, real foods. It'll make a huge difference. And again, you can get any of my reports, really inexpensive. You can learn how to do that, and you can learn how to do it in a time efficient manner. And then the excuse number 3 for I don't have enough energy, I'm too tired. Well, I'm going to give you a really big tip. For most people, when they say that they're tired after work and they don't have time, they don't feel like exercising if they don't have time early in the morning, is here's why you need to think. No, unless you're a construction worker who's out working all day and using all their muscles and burning a lot of energy, you're not physically tired. Your muscles aren't tired. You're tired because you've been using your brain, looking at a computer all day and maybe on the phone, and our brain uses a lot of blood sugar for energy. It's always, there's a waste product called lactic acid from burning sugar, which our brain burns primarily. And so that builds up and it makes you feel tired. But all you have to do is, when you come home, is go out and just do even 15 to 20 minutes of aerobic exercise. Go out for a walk, a power walk, go for a swim, ride a bike, dance, just move and breathe, and you'll just blow out all that lactic acid. You'll rejuvenate yourself, and you'll feel much better. So you'll have energy to enjoy your evening. You don't have to just lay on the couch and zone out on watching the tube. You'll be able to enjoy your life and do some things that you want to do. So again, that's not an excuse that I'm too tired. And number 4 is, a lot of people say, well, especially when it comes to exercise, I'm not really sure what to do. I haven't done things in the past that hasn't helped. I'm afraid of getting hurt and all these things. And that's another really poor excuse. These days, there's no lack of knowledge everywhere. You can go on YouTube and just find out how to do anything. Now, I'm not saying everything on YouTube is the right thing or correct or the best, but you can learn how to do whatever you want. You can learn how to cook healthy meals. You can learn how to do some basic exercises. Now, here's another thing for as far as exercising goes. I have a whole program called Fast Fit 17. It shows you exactly how to do a complete full body workout, not using any equipment. You can do it anywhere at any time, and you can get a complete full body workout in just 17 minutes. So I showed you how to do it. So we're still selling it for $17. So go to fastfit17.com and you can pick up that program for only $17. So again, there's no excuse for not exercising regularly, doing something that's going to work for you. There's no question. There's no problem for how to create healthy meals. And so I do want to let you know, there's a few tips here. I want to give you a few tips here. We're getting up to about 30 minutes here. So I want to finish up here in about 10 more minutes. So the number 1 tip I can give you in order to help you, in addition to all the things we've gone over, how to get clear, or how to set the right priorities, set the right goals, and then to get rid of all these excuses that you make up for not eating healthy or for not exercising. Those are just excuses. And so the number 3 thing is, the number 1 thing that will help you to stick with the program and actually to develop a right program that's going to get the results, both eating and exercise, and that will get the results. So that's what's going to motivate you to stick with it for a lifetime, is to get some coaching, get some help. You don't have to go it alone trying to figure things out. See, that's the old way. So many people just say, well, they just jump in. Okay, I'll try this diet, or I'll try this exercise program, or I'll get with a friend, we'll do this and that. But get some expert advice. It's just like if you go into the stock market without getting any expert advice, or if you go into or trying to get the right insurance, or if you have some legal matters, you better. It's a wise decision to get some expert advice to help you. So get some coaching. There's so many people out there now. There's people that coach you on eating, and there's naturopathic doctors, and there's nutritionists, and there's personal trainers, and there's health coaches, and that's what I do. So I'd love to help you. Anytime you can always go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com, and you can check out. We have a free aging assessment there, so you can take that and see how well you are aging. And if you don't like the results, you can book a free call with me, and we'll discuss what challenges you're having, and I'll get you going on the right track. So also have some coaching programs there where we actually work together for guaranteed success. So whatever you do, you don't have to work with me. I think that'd be a good idea, but get some help and get some expert advice. And that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to, not because you're going to get some good results then, and you will be able to stick with it. And so the next thing is, again, just adding to this, you got to design a program that suits your lifestyle. Everybody's unique. So you got to find out a program of eating that's going to work for you. We're all biochemically unique. And also you got to develop an exercise program that's just right for you. So the first thing I always do with my clients is to tell them, we need to develop a program that will get you just fit, that suits your lifestyle. If you want to climb mountains, you got to work a little harder and get in better shape. If you're happy just to be able to climb upstairs without getting out of breath and be able to play with your kids or your grandkids, that's another thing. You don't have to work so hard. And to realize that it's an ongoing process. It's not a quick fix. It's something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. All the people who are living longer and successful and staying healthy, even the people in all the blue zones across the world, they do the same continually through the whole lifestyle. They eat healthy, they move, they have community, all these things. And so, and the other thing is to help you to stick with is reward yourself when you achieve something, when you do stick with it, when you start to see results, reward yourself. That's a big help. And of course, it's good to get yourself a coach or a partner to keep yourself accountable. And I guarantee you, when you stick with a personalized wellness program of healthy eating, of exercise, of stress reduction, of how to sleep better, you will get some really results that are going to help you to look better and feel better. So that's going to motivate you to stick with it. So I think that's just about it. That's just about a wrap. I guess the last thing we want to do, I just want to encourage you to really hope this sinks into you. I hope this really sinks in that you can do it. It's not that difficult. You can develop and stick with a healthy eating and exercise program so you can be as healthy as you want to be for the rest of your life and be as successful as you want to be. And so I encourage you to take action. Einstein, one of my favorite sayings from Einstein was, knowledge without action is useless. So I always in all my TV shows and my master classes, and whenever I get a chance to speak like this to a group, my goal is to give you some information that you can implement immediately. That'll give you some great results, but you got to step up and take action. So take action. So I guess that's about the last thing I can tell you is, again, one of the things I encourage you to do is book a free call with me, and we'll just have a friendly conversation, discuss what challenges you're having, and I'll do my best to give you some quick and easy solutions and get you going on the right track. So I hope this was really helpful for you. I know if you implement it, you will be successful. So again, all you have to do is just do it. That's it. That's the best saying ever. Just do it. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope to connect with you soon.